Welcome to the Get Wisdom podcast. And for you folks looking for a new way to do life, maybe figure out how to get unstuck. Well, in any area of life, really. Or if you just need a new perspective on your current circumstance, we can definitely assist you with all of these things. Check us out at www.getwisdom.cc. I'm Miranda.
And I'm Jay.
And today we're looking at a really interesting white paper by Brent Ziemann.
Yeah, our goal here is simple. Provide you with actionable insights. Cut right through the noise.
Okay, let's unpack this. This paper, it argues something pretty profound. It says the greatest gift we can offer our loved ones isn't, material stuff or big gestures, but our own personal growth. That's the core idea.
It really is. And it shifts things, doesn't it? A
Yeah.
paper basically frames personal growth, things like authenticity, resilience as the foundation for, well, everything meaningful we contribute. What's fascinating is how it immediately makes you rethink love and loyalty.
Right, because traditionally we think care means comfort. Yeah, telling people what they want to hear, maybe hiding some truths to keep the peace. But the paper is blunt. It says that approach builds really shallow connections, fragile ones.
Exactly. True loyalty, according to this source, needs more grit. It needs honesty. It needs alignment with your own values. And importantly, the courage to grow, even if growing disrupts those familiar patterns.
So if a relationship needs you to stay stagnant just to survive.
Then it's actually holding you back, by definition almost.
Which brings up that tricky idea, the paradox of selflessness. People hear personal growth and immediately think.
Oh, that's selfish. Focusing on yourself over others.
So how is focusing on yourself not selfish? That's the big question here.
And the paper's answer is key. It argues that focusing on your growth is actually the most selfless thing you can do. Think about it. By transforming yourself, becoming stronger, more authentic, you're giving everyone around you a better version of yourself, a healthier person to rely on.
Like a growth dividend, maybe? Investing in yourself pays off for others, too.
That's a great way to put it. And the opposite holds true as well if you don't grow.
The energy it takes to just maintain that status quo, that fake comfort.
It drains you. It depletes the resources you need to genuinely show up for the people you care about.
If you're only operating at, say, 50% because you've compromised your values.
Then you can only bring 50% to your spouse, your kids, your team, minimizing your own potential. The paper frames that as a disservice to everyone counting on you.
Okay, so if comfort isn't the goal, if it's even the enemy of growth, what's the actual cost of taking the easy way out? This gets us into that really interesting section, honesty over comfort.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how quickly relationships default to, well, platitudes, right? We tell people things to soothe them, not necessarily what helps them grow long term. Why are we so afraid of that temporary discomfort?
Fear of conflict, obviously. But the paper says that habit, avoiding conflict at all costs, it blocks real growth in the relationship. Authenticity means finding the courage to speak truth even when it's awkward, for everyone involved.
It's choosing integrity over just feeling good in the moment.
And let's get practical. What's the actual cost of constantly trying to please others? Of living out of sync with your own core values?
The white paper is very clear on this. Suppressing your values just to fit in or be liked, it's just not sustainable.
It eats away at you internally, right?
Yeah.
It depletes your energy.
Definitely. And it builds up this hidden resentment that eventually poisons things.
And it kills trust, too, because people can usually sense when you're not being real, when you're just performing.
Absolutely. Connect that to the bigger picture. Living authentically, it kind of acts like a filter. It attracts relationships that are actually aligned with who you are. Healthy relationships, the paper suggests, they need clarity. They thrive on clear expectations, not guesswork.
So honesty combined with compassion, that creates safety.
Exactly. Safety for both people to grow. You start walking on eggshells.
Okay, let's talk about prioritizing growth, making it an active thing. This is where the paper really pushes back, isn't it? On loyalty. Many people struggle with the idea that values should come before relationships. They feel like they have to sacrifice their own path to keep bonds intact.
Well, the paper sort of reframes the goal.
Yeah.
Is the relationship itself the goal, or is the quality of the relationship the goal? And that quality depends entirely on the people in it.
So sacrificing your values doesn't save the relationship.
It diminishes your ability to truly love within it. The argument is that investing in your own growth is the highest loyalty because you bring a stronger, better self to every interaction.
But it takes ongoing effort, right? It's not a one-and-done thing.
No, personal development is continuous, a journey. You need to assess things periodically.
Like running a business almost. You need to check in.
And the paper offers two really powerful, simple questions for that check-in. First, where am I now? That forces some radical honesty. And second, the forward-looking one. Where could I be if I start fresh today?
I like that start fresh today part. It stops you getting bogged down in regret about the past.
Exactly. It fosters resilience. It shifts your energy towards what's possible now, towards action, instead of dwelling on what you can't change. It's about maximizing potential from this point forward.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. How does this growth mindset apply in the real world, like work and wealth?
The paper draws a really stark contrast here between people who just see work as a paycheck.
And those who see it differently.
Yeah, those focused only on the paycheck tend to plateau pretty early. They do the minimum, meet requirements, but that's it, comfort zone.
Which is very different from what the paper calls the high performer mindset.
Right. High performers see every single role, every project, every deadline. Not as a chore, but as training.
An opportunity to get better.
Exactly. To sharpen skills, negotiation, analysis, whatever it is, they know this increases their long-term value. They prioritize learning over the immediate salary number because they understand that increased value almost always leads to increased compensation down the line.
Okay, that makes sense. But then there's all the advice we hear about diversifying income immediately. Side hustles everywhere. The paper tackles this directly, calls it the myth of multiple income streams.
Yes, and this is fascinating because it corrects a really common misconception. People think millionaires start by juggling like 5 different things at once.
But that's not the reality.
Usually not, according to this analysis.
Yeah.
Most successful people, they build deep mastery and wealth in one core field first. They pour their focus, their energy, their capital into becoming truly excellent in that one area.
And then they diversify.
Then, once they have that solid foundation and expertise, spreading yourself thin too early trying to run 5 side projects, the paper argues it just dilutes your focus. You make minimal progress everywhere. Mastery has to come first.
That's a really important distinction. Okay, finally, the paper talks about critical thinking, calls it a growth multiplier. What does that mean practically?
Critical thinking in this context is about intellectual balance and maybe humility. We tend to latch onto exceptions, right? If a principle works 95% of the time, society often obsesses over the 5% where it didn't and uses that to dismiss the whole principle.
Throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Precisely. Critical thinking lets you acknowledge the exceptions, understand why they happened, but without abandoning the proven general principle.
Seeing the forest, not just the one weird tree.
Exactly. It helps you distinguish between a real pattern and just anecdotal noise. And that skill, it's vital in relationships, career, leadership, everywhere, really. It stops you from just reacting emotionally.
So bringing this all together, what's the main takeaway for you, the listener? It seems the conclusion is clear. Your personal growth isn't just about you. It's not isolated. Every step you take in becoming more authentic, more skilled, wiser, it radiates outward. It benefits your family, your friends, your community.
You really can't give what you don't have. And the final thought from the paper is powerful. The world doesn't need more people just trying to please everyone or stay comfortable. It needs more people committed to growth. The ultimate gift you give the people you love isn't what you do for them. It's who you become for them.
So here's a provocative thought to leave you with. If you really applied that principle, loyalty to values first, which relationship in your life right now requires you to be brave? Brave enough to maybe start fresh today, even if it causes some short-term discomfort. That's the real question, isn't it?
We really hope these insights from Brent Ziemann's white paper have given you a fresh perspective, maybe some clarity on the true value of pushing yourself to grow.
And if you do want to reach Brent Ziemann directly, you can contact him at 972-301-2878.
Or you can email him at getwisdomprinciple@gmail.com.
Also, please do check out our sponsors. They make these conversations possible. You can find them at www.getwisdom.ccs sponsors.
Thank you so much for listening today.
We will see you tomorrow right here on the Get Wisdom podcast.